What's up, everybody? 4K Cinema HD here with another Welcome to the Grind segment. This segment I'm going to be reviewing the cult classic grindhouse film Pieces, directed by Juan Piquer Simón. He's a Spanish director from Spain. And before I do my review on the 1982 cult exploitation film Pieces, let's see the trailer to this 1982 horror classic film.
Warning. What you will see in the movie Pieces cannot be revealed, cannot be described, cannot even be imagined. And you don't have to go to Texas for a chainsaw massacre. Pieces, it's exactly what you think it is. Pieces. Absolutely no one under 17 will be admitted.
Okay, guys, I hope you enjoyed that trailer. So, this film stars Christopher George, Linda Day, and Paul L. Smith, who most of you might know Paul L. Smith from movies like Popeye, Midnight Express, and Crime Wave, directed by Sam Raimi. This film is a very odd and strange film. I got to view this last night, and I was just like, what the fuck am I seeing and what's going on? In that sense, the movie takes place in 1942, right off the bat in the city of Boston, Massachusetts. In the beginning sequence of the film, you have a little boy who's putting together a jigsaw puzzle. And they shot to the little boy with his legs folded, sitting on the floor, and he's putting together a jigsaw puzzle. And as he's doing that, his mother unexpectedly walks in on the boy and is curious to know what he's doing, what type of jigsaw puzzle is he putting together. And then when she witnesses the puzzle that he's putting together is of a naked woman, she absolutely loses her mind. So she ends up basically smacking the kid up, telling him, how dare you, you're very disgusting, what's wrong with you, type of ordeal, which any parent would do if they see their child doing some type of jigsaw puzzle, especially like, I would assume he was about 8 or 9 years old, putting a puzzle together with a naked woman. So anyways, as the mother starts smacking the kid up, and very angry she is, she tells him to leave the room. And leave immediately, and to gather up anything else that could be very offensive to her that he might have in his room. So she's looking through his room, and she's looking through his stuff. The kid walks out of the room, comes back, and basically right off the bat hacks her with an axe right down the middle of her skull. So he basically hacks his mother into pieces. And as the movie goes along, there's apparently a nanny that was going to come and take care of the boy, and she realizes that no one's answering the door. So she alerts the authorities. So finally the authorities get there and break open the door, go up to the room, and there they see the young boy, the mess that he left, the blood trails, and they see his mother laying on the floor. So they wondering where's the boy. The boy ends up hiding in the closet, covered of blood, and the whole room full of blood from the terrible act that he committed on his mother. What I find a little strange about this film is just the editing process and the costumes that they wear in this film, particularly the policemen and other people in the film. They're just extremely cheesy. I mean, what do you expect? Most of these grindhouse movies are cheesy anyway, but it's just funny because the scene before the cops actually go up to see what was going on with the boy, they showed two cops, two actors. One of them, actually both of them, excuse me, they don't have any mustaches. Right? So when they go up into the room to investigate what happened, one of them ends up with a mustache, and a pretty funny mustache at that. Kind of it looks like he looks like Super Mario from the Mario Brothers, which was very funny to see that, and I started laughing about that. But this is a very goofy movie, extremely goofy, because from there on, what's funny is it takes place in 1942 in the beginning, and then next you know there's a shot of a touch tone phone, which I believe back then never existed, which I found pretty funny and hysterical at that. But you know, it's just a strange and odd film. And then from there, once they apprehend the boy, they take him away. They take his mother's body away. It takes place 40 years later after that incident. 1982 to be exact, on a college campus. So now, from 1942, you hear they go to the college campus. Is 40 years later, and then you see the college students and some type of university. I don't know if it was Harvard or any of those other Massachusetts universities. Could have been Harvard, since the film was shot in Boston and in Spain. And you see the typical kids smoking pot, having sex. But what makes this movie strange is just the situations that just come about. It's not like, to me, it's not your typical slasher movie. It's a hacker movie. This movie has extreme gore. Like, I don't have a problem with it. It's just the level of what they do is very different from other slasher films. It really separates itself from that, because a lot of the murders that take place in the college, it's very out in the open, because a lot of these horror movies, they usually take place at night. It's very isolated. I mean, don't get me wrong, there are some scenes of murder where there are victims, all of them, all women. They are in isolated situations. Besides the beginning point of the film, where there's a girl who, which is also, I find bizarre. She starts off roller skating, and as she's roller skating down a mini ramp, there's these two movers moving a window, like a glass pane window, and for some reason they focus on her, and then she ends up crashing through the damn window, and then they show flashbacks of when the boy ends up hacking his mother when she crashes through that window, which to me didn't make any sense, because you figure that she will have a major part in the film, the girl rollerblading down the hill, and she really doesn't. So that's what I find kind of odd. Why would they put that there and to begin with? So anyway, she crashes through the window. All right, she has her little action. She ends up studying on the lawn in the college campus, and there you have Paul L. Smith character, who portrayed Bluto in Popeye. He's the groundskeeper of the college campus, and in a coincidence, you see him welding a chainsaw, cutting trees down, basically grooming the lawn and trees. And he ends up, you know, basically becoming a murder suspect because of all the killings that have been going on in the campus. But there's multiple twists that you could think, oh, this person's the killer, that person's the killer. But I'm not going to give away who's the actual killer in the film. But she ends up laying down, studying, and then next thing you know, the guy who's the killer comes with the chainsaw and just out in the open hacks her head off, completely right off her body. And it's like out in the open, anyone could see what's going on, obviously, and it was a daytime scene. So it's just strange how this movie all came about. It's a very different take in the slasher genre. I guess that's why it gave it such a cult status, because of the differences separating itself from the actual slasher films that came out during the time, like Friday the 13th, Prom Night, Terror Train, to name a few. And I guess this is why this movie distanced itself from that. It's just a very different type of film. You have situations that you're scratching your head like saying, what the fuck? Like the kung fu karate student that out of nowhere, there's one of the girls walking to her dorm room, and this guy starts doing some martial art 1970s Return to the 36 Chambers kung fu move on her, and I'm like, what the hell does that have to do with anything? It's just strange and odd. But I could imagine the audience watching this film at the time, particularly 42nd Street, where they used to show a lot of martial arts films. They probably peed on their pants of laughing. It was just there was no need for that. So this movie has a lot of strange scenes and things that shouldn't even be there in a horror film. But when it comes to the kills, they're very well photographed and filmed. The brutality it's well filmed, like I said, and it looks great. There's tons of gore. Obviously, this is a movie that was made in Spain. Like most of you know, all European films have extreme gore and violence, which distance themselves from the American type films. And yeah, so it's just a strange and odd film. And also, you have also two detectives. One of the detectives played by Christopher George, who obviously goes on campus and tries to investigate the murder. So it also plays out like a crime story, murder mystery type, almost like a Gallo film, but not quite a Gallo film, but almost, to the likes of Bava and Argento. But it really distances itself. The film distances itself from that. It's just a strange and bizarre film. Even the ending to this film is extremely, and I mean extremely, what the fuck, bizarre. And I'm not going to tell you what it is, but I'm like, what the fuck was that? You have to see this film to understand what I'm trying to talk to you about the ending of this film. But overall, it's a fun ride. It's a silly, goofy film. But the horror, if you love extreme gore, this movie has it. Lots of naked women in this film, like every exploitation horror film. Even the killer reminds me of the Spy vs. Spy character with the hat and the little, you know, he has his collar there perked up with the little hat. So he kind of reminds me of that Spy vs. Spy character, especially the one that wears the black. But I to be honest with you, I did enjoy the film, and it's a good it's a different take. You might have to watch multiple viewings to actually kind of enjoy it more, because it's just, I don't know, it's one of those goofy movies that you like, wow, it's goofy, it's stupid. Why is this there? Why is that there? Why did that guy come out of the bushes fighting karate? Why did she smash the plane window as the movers were coming out of the truck with it? Just so much bizarreness, if that's even a word. Just strange shit going on in this movie. But I enjoyed it. I mean, it's a grindhouse classic. It played very famously in 42nd Street, and ever since then has a cult following. They're actually going to be screening this film here in Brooklyn and Williamsburg in its original 35mm print. So I don't know. I might actually go and attend that screening. I don't know yet, depending on my schedule. But overall, Pieces is a fun movie. If you love grindhouse horror or a fan of cult films, then definitely give this a watch if you've never seen it. And you will see what I'm trying to say, how goofy it is, the plot, everything that's thrown in this film. Some of it does not make sense at all. But overall, it was a fun movie, and I give it my highest recommendation for those of you who enjoy cult films and this type of horror exploitation. So this is the release from Arrow that I picked up. As you see, that's the original. This is not the original. That's the artwork that Arrow usually puts on the releases. This is the DVD. Very cool artwork. You don't have to go to Texas for a Chainsaw Massacre. And even when you just watch the trailer, you could tell that the trailer is also a little bit misleading also. It's not really like what you see in the trailer. It's so different, this film. That's what I'm saying. This is a strange and bizarre film. And the trailer is not really long, and that's the actual trailer they played throughout all the theaters prior to its release. So this is the Arrow edition artwork. Very gorgeous. And this is the original theatrical poster art for Pieces. Absolutely no one under 17 admitted to this performance. And their famous catch slogan, you don't have to go to Texas for a Chainsaw Massacre. And the chainsaw in this movie gets used all the time, more frequently than it does in the actual Texas Chainsaw Massacre film. So, but this is a good release, obviously, from Arrow. Even though it's a DVD, it looks beautiful on DVD, and there's special features on this. There's interviews with Jack Taylor. He plays a professor in the film. And there's also an interview with Fangoria Magazine's Michael Gringold and his take when he saw this movie on 42nd Street. And a theatrical trailer and tons of other features. But yeah, so I don't know what else to say about this film. It's just goofy, strange, and very bizarre. And another take, also the film, the actual original name of this film, when it was, I guess, released in Spain, it was called Mi Gritos de la Noche, which is 1,000 Screams in the Night. So the original title released in Europe was Mi Gritos tiene las noches, La Gritos tienes las noches, and here in the United States it was called Pieces. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed that Welcome to the Grind segment and my review on Pieces. I recommend it for you guys who enjoy exploitation and horror films. This is a way over the top. It has everything. It's a very strange and bizarre film, but a very enjoyable film. So I give it my highest recommendation. So I want to thank you guys all for watching this segment. I have other Grindhouse movies I'm going to be reviewing. I have Miss 45 lined up. I have my review of McBain and a couple of other Grindhouse movies. So I hope you enjoyed this segment. Let me know what you think. And please like this video, comment. And I want to welcome all my new subscribers who subscribe like I always do. How you guys doing? And let me know if you've seen this film and what's your take on this film. Alright guys, so that ends this segment of my review of Pieces, directed by Juan Piquer Simón. And I hope you guys see this and tell me what you think about it. And hopefully you guys will enjoy it like I did. I found it strange, but I enjoyed it to a certain degree. Anyway guys, this is 4K Cinema HD signing out. Peace, take care, and have a great weekend, and I'll see you soon.